The economic recovery begins as payrolls soar with 2.5 million new jobs added in May. In this video, we're going to take a look at the latest jobs report release, how the Democrats are guaranteeing an economic boon by inadvertently ending the lockdown through their woke support of rioters, all but sinking Joe Biden's campaign. You're going to absolutely love it. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your weekend. If this is your first time here at this channel, we post 2 videos a day analyzing current events and analyze some super awesome conservative trends so that you can live in the present in light of even better things to come. We help you to think better so you can feel better. So if you haven't already done so, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You're going to absolutely love interacting with this online community of conservatives from all over the world. They're simply the best. Let's start with our video chat question of the day, shall we? Do you see a complete economic recovery before November? Let us know in the comment section below. Do you believe that we'll be seeing a massive economic boon representing a complete recovery before the November elections? Because we're going to take a look at the latest numbers. They've just come out as of today that are absolutely stunning. The economic recovery is happening at a speed that's taking even the most optimistic economists by surprise, which of course is bad news for the Democrats. Good news for America is always bad news for the Democrats. But first, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that is the one and only Robert Herjavec, the multimillionaire investor, now TV star from the hit show Shark Tank. So what Robert has, he's got an amazing opportunity for you. He and his team of ultra-successful angel investors are here to help you get in on ground floor investment opportunities for as low as just $50. All you need to do is watch the free video at getangelrich.com or click on the link in the description below to see how you can participate in these potentially lucrative deals before they go mainstream. So don't wait. Check them out. Check out the video at getangelrich.com. All right, everyone, after perhaps one of the saddest and shocking and most enraging weeks in our nation's recent memory, it's nice to end with some really good news. Now, just to set the context here, there have been a number of articles that have come out of late recognizing that with the official opening of the national economy as of this past Memorial Day, with the return to business even among blue states, Democrat states were particularly hit hard with the virus infections. But with the nation opening up as a whole, the economic numbers would begin to skyrocket. And this isn't just Republican wishful thinking. Politico reported last week that the Harvard professor and top economist of the Obama administration, Jason Furman, he told a large bipartisan group of top officials from both parties via Zoom meeting that the months leading up to November promised to be the most explosive monthly employment numbers and GDP growth ever experienced. In other words, we are about to see the best economic data we've ever seen in the history of this country. This was the conclusion as well of Trump's economic advisor, Kevin Hassett. He too is predicting that the third quarter will be the highest growth quarter in U.S. history. Well, I'm happy to report it didn't take long. The jobs report for May has just been released. And keep in mind, economists, even though they were predicting an economic boon in the next few months, most believed that the May report would be dismal. They expected that the unemployment rate would hit upwards of around 20%. Remember, that's where this whole notion that we were entering another depression came from. With the Great Depression, it had an estimated unemployment around 25%, though we didn't keep accurate job numbers or indices back then as we do now with the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But economists were indeed worried that we would continue to see jobs evaporate and the unemployment numbers hitting around 20% with 7.5 million job losses. Well, as of today, the Bureau of Labor Statistics released their report, and what we found is that payrolls, in fact, soared with 2.5 million new jobs in May. Let that hit you, 2.5 million new jobs. The unemployment rate came down to 13%, so previous month in April, the unemployment rate was 15%. So we're seeing a dramatic drop here in unemployment. And again, just to put this all in perspective, remember, economists were predicting 20% unemployment as of today. The actual number has cut that in half. Needless to say, the stock market loved it. It surged as a result of this wonderful news. As of this video, the Dow has soared 2%. adding more than 700 points. And the surge is on top of last week's surge, where the Dow soared another 2%, trading above 25,000 for the first time since March. It wasn't just the Dow, the S&P rose as well by 2% to over 3,000 for the first time since March 5th. President Trump, of course, was elated. He celebrated these numbers by tweeting out, "It's a stupendous number. It's joyous. Let's call it like it is. The market was right. It is stunning." And it is. The economic recovery is happening faster than anyone anticipated. And it promises to go even faster over the summer, since we have to remember that much of the nation was still under lockdown throughout most of May. But one of the inadvertent consequences of the Democrats coming out and supporting and championing the riots throughout our nation's cities is that the lockdown is now, for all practical purposes, over. Again, remember, just 3 weeks ago, we pointed this out, just 3 weeks ago, officials were jailing small business owners for trying to put food on their tables. But now those same officials are applauding protesters and rioters completely violating the very social distancing rules that those officials insisted on. The lockdown's over. And Democrats inadvertently killed it in their left-wing zeal to support and shill for all things woke. They ended up destroying the very lockdown that was going to shut down the economy and effectively end Trump's presidency as far as they were concerned. Again, we have to remember that health officials, nurses, healthcare workers, they were standing in defiance against the lockdown protesters 3 weeks ago. The lockdown protester would be parading down the street, and these healthcare workers, or maybe we should call them wokers, they came out and they stood in front of them with their masks on, right, preventing the protesters from marching any further. And the Marxist media, CNN, they were so impressed. They were like, it's like Tiananmen Square, when the protesters stood in front of the tanks. It's wonderful. And then Black Lives Matter protesters came out and breaking every single social distancing rule that these very same healthcare workers or wokers were insisting on and defending against the lockdown protesters. And these very same healthcare workers came out and they applauded. They support Black Lives Matter. It's all one big stupid game to these left-wing activists disguised as professionals, healthcare professionals, right? They don't care about you. They don't care about the coronavirus. They don't even give a flip about Black Lives Matter. All they care about is getting rid of Trump. That's the only thing that motivates these people. But now with these job numbers, the Democrats are panicked. The Gateway Pundit recently reported that a former Obama White House official was saying that there is a massive concern among top Democrats right now. They're freaking out. And I want you to think about that. The Democrats freak out over the fact that more Americans get back to work and are able to pay their bills. If that doesn't tell you who the Democrats really are, I don't know what possibly will. What's good for America is bad for the Democrats. Isn't that what Rush Limbaugh calls an undeniable truth? What's good for America is always bad for Democrats. Always. More of these numbers are completely dooming the Biden campaign. And I'm talking here in terms of his strategy. Not just the likely factor that a great economy favors the incumbent president, which it does. But up until this point, Biden has been basing his whole campaign on the notion that the economy would be in a depression come November. So he was relying on these Democrat governors, like that left-wing nut in Michigan. He was relying on them to shut the economy down permanently and destroy the employment numbers. But we always have to remember that the lockdown protests worked. Americans demanded to go back to work, and there was nothing these idiot Democrat governors could do to stop them. Hello, Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk tells the left-wing officials there in Alameda County in California that his Tesla facility is opening up and there's nothing they can do about it. And they basically back down. They say, okay, all right, just don't leave. Don't move to Texas, right? So the lockdown failed with workers insisting on getting back to work, now over 2 million of them. And the lockdown failed because these very same Democrat governors got all woke in supporting the riots and protesters, which effectively ended social distancing. So the economy is booming. And now what's Biden supposed to do? His whole campaign has been predicated on a failed economy. And now the economy's booming. So now what? Well, he'll probably go back to the identity politics strategy and embrace the far left and Black Lives Matter, just like Hillary did. And how did that turn out for her? So I think we're beginning to see a major comeback here, not just with our economy, but with, of course, President Trump and the Republicans with these job numbers outperforming even the most optimistic of new economic forecasts, which both Republican and Democrat economists admit are astonishing. It looks like we're setting the stage for a Democrat disaster come November. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on the colossal collapse of Rachel Maddow, the #1 show for the ultra-left MSNBC. Her ratings are absolutely plummeting, and it's just going to make your day. So click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.